Welcome, anime enthusiasts, to Squad Nero, the ultimate destination for all things anime. Whether you're a seasoned otaku or just taking your first steps into the captivating world of Japanese animation, you found your home. I'm Rob, aka Sage. With me today, I have Niall, aka Croco's Corner, Chef D, and T Smooth, your guides through the vast realms of creativity, epic adventures, and heartfelt stories that anime, animation, and gaming have to offer. Join us each week as we dive deep into the latest releases, explore hidden gems, and discuss the hottest topics in the blurred community. Get ready for a journey filled with laughter, tears, and the unbridled passion that makes anime a truly unique art form. Without further ado, let the Anime Odyssey begin.
Yes, sir. Here we are, episode 38. Thank you again for everyone sticking with us right on this long ride that we still trying to keep pushing along on. We want to start off. We're gonna make this nice, quick, simple, straight to the point. First topic of the night. Gonna breeze through this one. The TV series for Chucky has been canceled after 3 seasons. I myself sad to see it go. Everyone else here don't really care, but I do. So I wanted to bring it to the attention. I'm just saying, rest in peace, Headstone, Chucky, and hopefully somebody picks it up because USA and Sci-Fi just kicked that thing to the curb. But going forward, we have the Thunderbolts teaser trailer. It dropped on September 23rd. We missed it last week somehow, but we wanted to bring it to the table and discuss it for a moment or two.
HQ.
Alexi, it's me. Open up.
Milena? Hold on! Elena!
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about the wait. It was on an important call. Highly classified. Lot of work. Many irons in fire.
You feel fulfilled?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so full. So filled. But why do you ask this? What brings you here?
There is something wrong with me. An emptiness. I'm just drifting. And I don't have purpose. I thought throwing myself into work was the answer. With your feet on the air, your head on the ground. Try and spin. Yeah.
Oh no.
Who are you?
I'm Bob.
Who sent you, Bob?
Nobody. You were all sent?
Everyone here has done bad things. Shadow ops. Robbing government labs. Contract kills.
Yeah, so?
So, someone wants us gone. What the hell?
We're brought up with this belief that there are good guys and there are bad guys.
What's the plan?
This could get messy.
But eventually, you come to realize that there are bad guys and there are worse guys and nothing else. Look at you. So adorable.
Don't worry, she's bulletproof. What happened to bulletproof? It's bulletproof-ish.
Is that Bucky?
That's not good.
2025.
Welcome, anime enthusiasts. Not gonna lie, it's not looking too bad. It's kind of giving me Suicide Squad vibes, but the second Suicide Squad, not the first one. Kind of a little bit. I don't know if it'll reach that plateau that Suicide Squad with Idris Elba reached, but I don't know. Who knows? It seems like a different off-brand, I guess, type of Marvel movie that we're expecting.
I would agree with Rob. I mean, because I saw like the blurry version from the Comic Con joint, so I wasn't too keen on it. But seeing it in better quality is like, okay, this could be good. But I just hope it's not filled with too many jokes and shit, like too many like, oh, we the misfits joke type shit. But it's like, I don't know. As far as the plot, it looks pretty decent.
Not gonna lie, like to go along with D. uh, I hope they keep it like gritty and grimy, like keep the same essence of Captain America and Winter Soldier, the series that had Anthony Mackie and Bucky in it. But I like the fact that they kept what was it, Red which character? Yelena's father. Uh,
The Red Bear, or Red Boar, or something like that.
they at least keep him in there, so at least it lightens it. As long as it's not like forced comedy like these daggone Thor movies, and his jokes hit like that simple one where it's like it's bulletproof ish, like that breaks up the monotony of like the scene. Like it's a lot of action, and you throw like something in there, here and there, and then you just move along with the scene. Like let the jokes hit when they need to hit. Don't force it. So, but I am looking forward to it. It's gonna be a vibe of a movie. So, I'll be there day one to go watch it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I do hope that it's like a successful film because I think that like I think that it'll kind of set up that, so if it's successful, it'll set up the opportunity for them to do like a Civil War esque film in the future, that and that was a very big like heavy hitter for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So if they can do another film that has that Civil War esque feel in the future, that's as good or on the same level as Civil War was, that could be a potential success for the MCU. Additionally, I'm thinking that we need to start seeing teams, only because everything more or less seems to be pointing towards that we're going to end up maybe getting like a Young Avengers after these next two Avengers movies. So seeing some type of success with another team would be really good, because that'll allow for us to you know, feel confident going into a Younger Avengers film, if that is something that they plan to do in the future, which again, it looks really promising that that might actually come. So I've just got high hopes for it. I hope that is good.
My whole thing is at the end of the day, I hope that Captain America can carry into Thunderbolts and not just like hit us with another Hulk, like
Yeah.
and drop our expectations of Thunderbolts. Like I'm not going into it with high expectations, but I'm just hoping it moves the needle a little bit along with the story. I feel like it won't. I feel it's just like an introduction type movie, but I hope it does move the needle, even just in the slightest. So at least we can get something going forward to Doom, the Avengers movies, and the multiverse saga and stuff.
Yeah, hopefully Marvel doesn't make Sentry a little bitch either.
It seemed like
That's
they
the one
did
thing.
when he came out
It
that
does seem
box.
like they did.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, in the box, maybe he don't know how powerful he is yet, so it's like, all right, cool, but it's like
They
he's
had
the
the other
one nigga.
scene. They had the other scene. My bad to cut you off. They had the other scene where he was getting shot and everything like that. It looked like he
Yeah.
started to become a little bit of a badass at that point. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep my expectations low for Sentry because that's the one nigga y'all can't nerf.
I mean,
And I
he's
already
supposed to
fucked
be
up
the
off of
main
him.
villain, if I'm
Honestly.
not mistaken.
They
So
got the
I
wrong team if he's supposed to be the main villain.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Red Hawk might make an appearance,
he's supposed to, or no, Abomination's supposed to make an appearance.
or
That's
Abomination.
nothing for the Century.
No, not
That's
Yeah,
Abomination.
the
They
Hulk
turned
and
him
Sentry
to
is the only two people. I mean, the Hulk or a Hulk like form was the only person that fought Sentry to a standstill.
Hulk fought
Yeah.
Century to a standstill.
Hulk.
Well, with that coming out in
damn.
May, that'll be another one that we're looking forward to, depending on when it drops. It'd be crazy if it drops on like DreamCon weekend. That'd be hilarious. Like how we got Deadpool
That's
versus
what is it? May
Wolverine.
20. What did they say? May something 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we got another trailer from the world of John Wick, Ballerina. As many as you know, John Wick, top tier action movie. Kind of glad they're letting Keanu Reeves lay to rest so we can move along with the world around it because there's a lot of storytelling that they can utilize to make it to not say milk it, but actually give us something from the story from John Wick, so that we can actually enjoy the essence of that world. Because I'm not gonna lie, I love the action, I love everything about it, and I want them to keep it going. Here we go.
Oh, this is an anime.
Do you like to dance? I know a school where they teach dances. I could take you there if you'd like.
To stop the assassin, you must become the assassin. You will always be weaker. You will always be smaller. You want to win? Improvise. Adapt. Cheat.
Welcome to the Continental. Eve Macaro of the Roscaroma. What a pleasure to see you again. You have no idea what you just walked into.
They killed my father. This isn't done until they're dead.
Fate is a very humbling thing.
You're him. The one they
Nah,
call the
wait.
Baba Yaga.
Oh.
How do I start doing what you do?
Looks like you already have.
I'm not gonna like you said that shit cold, and I'm glad they not trying to sound sexist, but the line "you'll always be like smaller and weaker, so you have to cheat." It's like, all right, now you know this bitch gonna be like using everything to her advantage. Like we saw the ice skate, we saw her using all these other things. It's definitely on some like Electra from the comics or like some comic shit come to life for women finally.
My whole thing is like the fact that okay, I don't know what is their infatuation of hitting dudes in the nuts. I've noticed that in the last couple John Wick movies, like Keanu Reeves is like hitting dudes in the nuts constantly, and now they got her doing it.
It's
What
effective.
it?
She got to cheat. Cheat. I
No,
mean,
but I'm
granted,
just
she did
saying
get swindled
Keanu
through a
Reeves had to
scandal.
John
cheat
Wick had to
too.
do it too.
Yeah,
It's effective.
bruh. He was
Yeah.
like,
You ever get hit in the
It is
balls?
effective.
It's not
A
fun.
grown ass man, it don't matter how big that nigga is.
Yeah.
It is. It is effective.
You get hit down there, the first thing you do is grab that area. You leave your neck exposed, your face
Yeah.
exposed. That's an easy kill right there. So John Wick is like, I ain't trying to. I'm not Batman. I'm not trying to get these one-on-one hands. I'm trying to kill you as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
the fact that she looked like Nina from Tekken. That's what's kind of like pulling me in right now because especially in that fight scene where she was in her dress, she did the like she was just holding the gun to the side, and for a second I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I like literally I just
Yeah.
instantly thought Nina from Tekken. So I'm strongly hoping that like the fight choreography is gonna be fire. It's always fire. Granted, with Keanu Reeves, everything was practically telegraphed because of how old he is. But the fact that we actually get him in there and it's like a handoff, if they keep going with the whole ballerina story, it's like a handoff because we know at the end of John Wick 4, he technically is dead when he's not. And we all know that. It's more of the name of John Wick is dead, but not Giantanio, whatever his name was, when he was going back to claim his name and everything. Uh, so I'm actually looking forward to that. If I'm just hoping they do the handoff perfectly, where we can actually get her playing more John Wick movies. And I actually like the fact that it's not that Cookie. They didn't follow the same formula in a sense. We actually got her father who was killed, not a dog. Now, when the dog died, John Wick just didn't care about anybody but his dog. This one, her father's there. It has a little more sting to it. You know what I mean?
They still followed the same thing though.
Yeah, the dog was the last gift his wife gave him
Yeah, it's still follow. It's something precious
when she died.
for both of them.
No, but what I'm saying is like, not say I love
More story
dogs.
behind the idea with the father than it would be with the dog.
Yeah.
Bro, the dog is the last gift his dead wife gave him.
Yeah, that's cool. But I get what T is saying. Like you could do more of a like you could put a little bit more meat and gravy on the idea of what she had to go through with the the idea of her father's backstory with a dog. It's like, yeah, the backstory is it was a gift from his wife, last gift from his wife. But like with a father to a daughter, you can flesh that more out. You can show how that affects her more during like certain sequences throughout the movie. It's going to the I get what you're saying, T. It's going to the point of it's gonna push the John Wick story into not only being about the combat scenes and action, but it may actually add a little bit more depth to the story as well. And the trailer looked like that could possibly be the case too. Like that lined up to me.
What if John Wick killed her dad?
Plot twist. That would be the ultimate plot twist. But I'm not gonna lie. I wish I'm okay with this. With the ballerina trailer look dope, and I know that movie's gonna be fire, fight choreography, and everything. It's a John Wick film. We all love it. But I wish they would have carried on with the Asian girl who I think John Wick killed her father or something, or got her father killed. No, the blind swordsman. Homegirl was going after him in that last final scene, and it just cut to black. Like you don't know if he got killed by her or not, because remember he was finally able to go see his daughter, who he had to pretty much leave by the wayside while he was stuck in that world. And homegirl who father that he killed earlier on when he was chasing John Wick in Japan, she was going after him. So I wish they would have like gave us a little bit, like did a movie on that, because that kind of would have been dope.
Yeah. It still might, like, if this is successful, it might branch off into different, like, it'll have the ballerina branch, then maybe another branch, then another branch. It's just it is somewhat of a big deal if this movie is a success or not, because it'll show how far they gonna be willing to stretch this world out, and it can be overkill, but if it's done, if they take their time with it, they will be doing something that we haven't seen maybe ever in a more action-based series, which is branch out successfully in like several different storylines, and they all consistently be good. Yeah, nothing else is really, I can't think anything off the top of my mind that's successfully done that. So, but John Wick is really good. Everybody likes John Wick. So if it's done right, maybe they could be the first.
So you Sage, what's your thoughts?
I think you gotta give John Wick a little bit too much credit, or the creators of John Wick. Out of all of them 3 John Wick movies, do we get
4.
any liquor story?
4.
4, my bad. Out of all those 4 John Wick movies, do we get any liquor story?
To be honest with
substantial.
you, to be honest with you, there is a story behind it, but the whole premise of the movies is just straight action.
It's a story. That's what I'm saying.
So
it's
literally, but here's the thing: the story is he got his revenge on his dog like being killed, like you said, last gift from his wife. Now the rest of the films is him trying to get out of the game, but they're not allowing him to. It's always something constantly pulling him back. That's why in John Wick 4, he got a chance to put the name to rest of John Wick and just be able to go live his life. So literally, like John Wick 4 is that final piece where it's like he's done. He don't want to do this no more.
Still not much of a story.
It might Ballerina might be able to give John Wick more of the story.
No,
The thing is, people
they've been
enjoy the
successful.
action.
They've been
People
successful with
enjoy,
all four of those things that they had, and there was nothing but action packed.
but that's the thing. People like that. People like the
No, no, no. Yeah,
Expendables.
My
I'm
thing is
not saying
this.
that's bad, but that's what I was saying. I think y'all give it John Wick a little
So,
bit too much credit for them to actually. They're not gonna goddamn try something new, try some new flavor if they already got
They are.
a
be
certified
honest. Hold on.
method to make money.
I got one for you. Would you rather watch the John Wick series or Fast and the Furious? Which one has a better storyline?
John Wick. It's not because of the storyline though. The
Fast and
story for goddamn
Furious,
Fast,
the
Fast
Fast and
and
Furious got
Furious
the same.
storyline is
There is no
trash.
storyline. There is no
Fast
storyline.
Fast and Furious is it got more of a storyline
No,
than
it does not.
No,
goddamn.
No, it
no,
does
don't say
not.
that.
No, it
Please
Yes,
does
don't
not.
dude.
finish
No, it
that.
Yes,
does
it
not.
Please
does.
don't finish
Yes,
No,
that.
it
it
does
No,
does.
it
not,
does
Yes, it
man.
not.
does. From the beginning of the movies
Goodness,
to now,
man.
it has a storyline. The storyline pushes the movies from one movie to the next. Vin Diesel, his shorty, goddamn, what's the white dude name that passed away?
Paul
R.I.P.
Walker.
Paul Walker. All of those things, whether y'all want to realize that or not, yes, they goddamn milk the fuck out of the series, yes, but there was still a storyline or pieces of it that helped you combine all of the movies and everything like that. I'm not saying John Wick
All right,
doesn't
that's
have a
fair.
storyline, but it's not as vast or expansive as Fast and Furious.
But this is their
I get
chance
that
to do
argument. I
that.
do actually agree with him on that.
But
Hearing him
here,
break it down like that.
my whole thing is, it's like literally John Wick 1 to 4 does have a storyline. Like, granted, it's not no big
It's not
full on
fleshed
thing
out like
because it's
Fast
only
and
one
Furious, though.
character.
I just said
Fast and
that.
Furious got like several characters, but now this is their chance to actually do that and
I
not
agree with
actually
that.
carry it under John Wick, like from the world of John Wick, because this could be between 2 and 3, 3 or 4, because technically he's supposed to be dead. So it could literally be like, I don't know what's the story or like where it lays in the timeline,
I
especially
think
for the TV series, The Continental, which was kind of trash. Like, I strongly hope that like we can actually get like some type of timeline fleshed out, and it will make things a little bit better. And
It's
I
a
hope,
cool experiment.
yeah,
we
It's a
shall
cool
see.
experiment. Like that. It like the thing that's popping up in my head is show like movies like James Bond, movies like Die Hard, um the Jason Statham movies. I can't think of what one specifically is I'm thinking about,
Wick.
but these are all movies that tell stories through action, and it's been done successfully. So with this, there's this opportunity for I do agree with Sage. Likely what they will rely on more than anything else because it is successful is the emphasis of the action. But where it's a little bit of an experiment is, and I don't know, like there was a couple other movies that came out. Charlize Theron, I can't remember, I can't pronounce her name right, but she was in one where they tried to, Angela Jolie was in another one. I can't remember the name of the movies, but there's these movies where when they do have that female lead, they try to kind of weave more of the story elements. It just has not been really successful yet.
Like Salt.
Like exactly. It just hasn't really been successful. But when you take the name of John Wick, you apply it to this, you have, I imagine, the same people that were behind John Wick involved in this. You throw the Keanu Reeves element in to kind of ease up people's expectations, maybe, or maybe kind of carve a little bit more thrill or fan service into it. Um, they might be able to do something that we haven't really seen happen successful, which is a box office hit. Uh, around where there's an emphasis of action with a female lead that also tells a really good story. So they in the trailer they made it seem like that might be something that we could get here. So like
You're
Sage said, we gotta wait and see.
Yeah,
I'm
we
just
definitely got to wait. But like to your point again, like when it's like the female badassery, I think with the men, even though it's all fiction, to the point where it's a little bit believable. We just seen Shorty get slammed through a table and a glass joint and still break a nigga arm. Some people,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like, oh, y'all just doing all this shit just to make her seem, like as strong as
indestructible.
John Wick or whatever. Yeah, so it's like sometimes they might be going over the top. I hope it sees some box office success, but you know how they, like you said, with these female-led movies, it's like you get the story involved and you get to the action part, and it's like, yo, at this point, just make the bitch a superhero.
Well, my thing is this: they didn't really make John Wick seem like he had super strength. He was just very clever and smart with and utilized what he had.
But
Did you
John
see?
Wick, I'm not. He didn't have super strength, but I'm saying we never seen John Wick getting slammed through tables and shit. John Wick was nice with the guns and the
Oh,
blades
yes,
and
we
shit.
did.
He fell
He's
down like
Oh, yes,
yeah,
we
15
did.
flights of
he
stairs.
always got hurt.
Oh,
Like he
I
always took
forgot
a
about
lot of
that shit.
damage.
That
But my
nigga
whole
might
thing
not got
is,
super strength. He got super durability
but
though.
my thing is, I'm kind of glad they'll like one of my favorite actors, like low key Lance Reddick, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
They're this might actually be his last movie per se that he's in, because unless they did CGI that put him in the movie, which I hope they did not, because it didn't look like it. It's nice to see that this might be his last performance. I thought it was I forgot what movie you played in. Um, I thought that was his last performance. I forgot the last thing he was in. But aside from that, they're actually one thing they're doing smart, like off this female lead, is that they're having John Wick in the movie. I'm hoping he's only in there in the third act, because I want to see if the female lead can carry on her own for majority of that movie. Then bring in John Wick to carry it on, because I don't want to go into this thinking that John Wick had to save this movie. I don't want that. I want it to succeed. I want this to
Yeah.
succeed. I want them to be able to branch off into different timelines and give us more, because it's a lot you can do. It's a lot you could do in this world of the Continental and John Wick and stuff. But aside from that, looking forward to that. Um, hopefully, box office hit. Another one that's coming out in May. I honestly think that they should push the Thunderbolts away from not having to compete with this, because I feel like this movie is going to beat the Thunderbolts out.
It's still Marvel. Marvel will do well. It's just a Marvel movie, so people gonna go.
Yeah, but I'm
They'll see
just
both.
yeah. But my thing is, I don't see Marvel doing well against a John Wick movie,
It's a tough movie to be up against. I
especially
do agree.
especially the fact that Keanu Reeves is still in this. So it's not
Yeah.
like if he never showed up, then I would say Thunderbolts would probably win out. But the fact that you still show John Wick at the end of it is giving people hope. Like, oh, it's not, but and John Wick gonna be fighting with her. Oh, I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, looking forward to that. That's fire. Trailer looks fire, and I can't wait for it. We all can't wait for it. And hopefully
That was just like adding Batman into the Flash.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Flash was trash.
I'm talking. Well, I know Flash was
He's
trash.
talking
I'm
about
saying,
getting people to go.
Oh, the people that
like when you see
okay.
Ben Affleck's Batman and then Batman, you like, okay, like
Let me
they
go
need to
see
get that
this.
shit that push. And saying a world from John Wick, like here that nigga go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he wasn't going to be in it before watching that trailer. I thought he was not going to be in it because they didn't have him in the Continental, that series that they put together. So
That nigga ain't coming back for no show. It's not enough fucking money. That nigga coming back for movies, box office.
facts.
you laugh like Wario from Mario. I'm just saying. So moving on, we got Last of Us 2, the official teaser. Hopefully this will keep up its expectation. I heard it's pretty much going to be the game, the second game over 2 seasons. And hopefully they do, spoiler alert, hopefully they do not kill Joel in the first season for the second game.
He doesn't die in the first game though.
You want to start or what?
Okay, we'll talk after.
Don't tell me Shawty's still fucking young.
Let's try
Oh,
something
they just
different.
got here. I forgot. My dumbass.
Dodo, did you play the second game?
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
I watched somebody play it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
All right,
it's,
so wait.
it's flashbacks.
Say the thing you're
Okay,
afraid
I'm
to
trying
say.
to see if she's actually older. Okay.
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
You got to remember, they're going to expound more on it. If they're making the second game into 2 seasons, what I meant was I'm hoping they don't kill Joe in the first part of the second game, which would be the first season. That's what I meant.
Nah, his ass gotta go. Act him the fuck up. His ass gots to go. It's what
Why?
happened in the game. It
Bruh,
gotta happen.
but I'm saying I hope it does not happen in the first 2 episodes, because if they're going to expound on a lot, if you remember, Ellie was pissed off with him. I need to know full on reason why. They didn't really go into that too much before Joel got bodied all out the daggone game. That's my whole thing.
Nah, they did flesh out why.
They didn't really flesh it out why, because here's the thing. If you remember watching the first season, they fleshed out a lot of stuff, especially the 2 dudes that was in that house.
Yeah.
They we didn't get that in the first game.
No.
They just, all you know is that he came by the house and saw the note. We didn't get a full on episode about them. We just knew about them.
No, but in the game they did flesh it out though. It was because Joel never told her about what happened.
But they're gonna show it visually live, and why. That's what I'm saying. I like the fact that they're branching out more with this story. Here's the thing. In season 1, there was like 2 episodes that they pretty much fleshed out a lot more stuff than what you see in the game. My whole thing is, since this second game is going to be 2 seasons, literally 2 seasons, there's a lot more in the story that they can flesh out for like a full episode. Like you see
I don't
him.
know. Okay. I don't know if they're gonna have the time though.
They have 2 seasons. They're
gonna flesh it out.
They did the whole game in 1 season in 8 episodes, and they still fleshed everything out and then some. Like they gave us everything.
More. It's gonna be more build.
But I think the second game has more though, in terms of just more content in order to show. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they'll have, especially if it's still the 8 episode.
The second
second game.
This one comment. Well, that's the thing. The season, since they breaking it up in 2 seasons,
the
first one will probably be where they'll flesh it out, and
then breaking it up into
the next season.
Because
they're waiting on the 3rd game to come out too.
No. They're not waiting on the 3rd game to come out. They're breaking this game up into 2 seasons. So Last of Us Part 1 is season 1. Last of Us Part 2 is going to be season 2 and 3. That's what I'm saying. You can flesh out Abby more. You can flesh out Ellie more.
Season
there's
1
a lot.
or the second season do that, and season 3. I think it'll probably. I don't think it's gonna happen in the first 2 episodes. I think it'll probably be towards the end of the second season, and then Sage, to back up your point, where there is more, because there is more to flesh out in the 3rd season. They'll probably it'll probably have the same pacing as the first season to make sure that it catches up with everything to cover the second game. But I think since it is broken up into 2 seasons, the the big thing with Joel will happen towards the end of that second season. That's
It'll
my
probably be
prediction.
halfway through, probably episode 4 or 5, because
Yeah.
you have to really kick the game off from that point. So,
Right.
my
Yeah.
whole thing is, if you remember at the end of season 1, or even in the game, you have the choice of telling Ellie a lie or telling her the truth. Now they're literally going to expound upon that for like an hour on what they've been doing in this colony that they end up in at the beginning of Last of Us 2,
Yeah.
before Joel ends up getting bodied
Right.
like Tiger Woods in the
That whole
PGA Tour.
part will just get fleshed out more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I like the idea that they're like stretching this out a little bit. They're not milking it. It's just they're expounding on some parts where they have a quick conversation about something. Then
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, I have more questions about that, and then they give it to
Which
us
a
in the
lot
show.
of people did play in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people did have. I remember that distinctly. A lot of people had.
like that.
They were like,
that
"Whoa, whoa, whoa! What
like
happened?
they
Like,
spent
what's going on here?"
they spent one episode on the DLC Left Behind, and it was done well. It was that
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes for like a 3 hour gameplay for DLC. They did a good job with that. You don't need all that time for certain things. Like they fleshed out what is homeboy name that they went to? Him and his partner. They fleshed that out for a full episode, which explained the whole like certain songs that they play to tell if there's danger or people lurking. That honestly, I had questions about that from the first game. Like, yeah, they talked about him for a moment, but they didn't really expound upon him like they did in the show, and when they did it really well. I'm not gonna lie, hands down, I'm looking forward to Last of Us season 2. I'm really looking forward to that. Like that, it's gonna be heat. It's gonna be heat.
It did look good for a TV series. I'm not gonna lie, like the graphics and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That first season was fire.
Mm-hmm.
It
I
did
forgot
leave
y'all
me
told me graphics.
a little tired. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little sleepy, but it was cold.
Oh, when the action hit, the action hit. Well, Last of Us 2, looking forward to that. And for our last trailer before we get into some anime talk, uh Nesfaratu. Pretty much just it's a remake of an old film from back in the, I think it's the 60s or
Like
70s.
30s. No, it's even older than that. It's like one of the first
1930s.
films.
So
It might not be 30s, but it's like definitely between 30s and 50s.
yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually looking forward to this one because I kind of like when they remake old films and it's
Me
done
too.
right. So here we go.
Come to me. Come to me. I've never shared my secret with any soul.
You've had these spells since childhood. Tell me what you can from the beginning.
It is like a dream. It was our wedding. When we turned around, everyone was dead. The stench of their bodies was horrible. Standing before me was death. But I'd never been so happy.
This creature is a force more powerful than evil. Its desire is to consume all life on Earth.
Only you can can redeem us. He is coming.
There is a devil in this world, and I have met him.
But you could never please me as he could. I'm ready.
Yep.
I'm
Looking
glad
forward
they
to
ain't
that.
show that nigga though.
That's the thing. In the old one, you don't really see him until the end of the movie. You don't see him at all. So I kind of like that ambiance of him being there, but without being there. So it gives you a little more fear added to your palate when you're watching this movie. Like, oh, who is he? You see eerie things happening. But one thing that kind of caught me off guard just now. Did any of y'all seen the movie Renfield
With
with the
Nicolas
yeah
Cage.
with
No,
Nicolas
I
Cage?
didn't.
So
No, no.
did you ever see the trailer for that?
Mm-mm.
So the main cat in that one also played in Renfield. The one white dude, not William Defoe, but the one that was like running full speed through through like the catacombs where we was at. So I kind of find that one cool, but also funny because that shows that if you have like some backstory, if they're all connected, that might be some ancestor because he was stuck being under Dracula for years, being his slave, and now you see him in here fighting Nosferatu from getting his wife or whoever he's with. So I'm not gonna lie, little key things like that. I like how they keep the same actor for a certain type of films. Granted, it takes away from him being able to play other roles because only people will see him as this person. So thoughts, anyone?
Yeah, I'm the same as you when it comes to stuff like this. Like I like when they kind of redo the older series and make them into newer ones. It's been we got The Last Demeter, which is based off of Bram Stoker's a section of Bram Stoker's Dracula. That came out like within 5 years. It's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. Fun fact, the guy who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton is like the lead character in that movie, but it's actually like really really good. He did a really good job acting in that movie. Um, that was maybe the last Dracula movie that we got that was good. It's been about 5 6 years since then. Before that, the last one that we got was in the 90s, which has been really good. But like every 15 or 20 years, you usually get a Dracula movie, and it ends up being like a really good Dracula movie. Nosferatu being the first that kind of kicked that off, as far as I know. Nosferatu was like the first to kick that off, and then um, from there we got again. Like I know these movies aren't for everyone, but they usually the point that I'm trying to make is they usually are like really good cinematic features. It's not going to be for everyone. It'll be a timepiece, obviously. It'll be probably very dialogue heavy at certain points, but it has, knowing how Dracula films have been in the past, it has potential to be one of those like Academy, what is it? Academy Awards is the movie
Mm-hmm.
one.
Yeah.
Is that
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Oscars? Yeah, so Academy Awards.
Yeah.
It might not look like it, even just from what we saw in that trailer, but it has the potential, knowing how Dracula movies are and how they usually do have the potential to be contenders for Best Picture, or Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor or Actress. It's exciting. Now, I love stuff like this, so I'm very like not knowledgeable on it, but like I know a little bit about it. It in terms of if you just like quality cinematic movies, it it could shape up to be one of those movies. So if you got the patience for it, I would say maybe give this one a look. Another fun fact I didn't notice until I saw this trailer here. Um, Robert Eggers is the director, I believe, of this film. He actually teamed up before with William Dafoe, if I'm not mistaken, with The Lighthouse that had Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think I am. And that was a really, really good movie. It kind of played on that same black and white. The whole movie is black and white, but it plays on that like slow burn, campy, kind of slow burn, old school feel. So, and it was very well received and was like nominated for a bunch of awards as well, for the cinematic approaches that they took in that. So if they're continuing that again in this movie, having your lead be William Dafoe, having your director, they've again worked together, it could it could really be a good movie in terms of just like pure cinematic elements. And don't sleep on those. Sometimes those movies are really, really, really good. But yeah, I'm excited for it because again, it's a remake from a 1930 or 30, 40s or 50 movie, so it should be pretty good. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Thoughts, D or Sage?
I like the trailer a lot actually, especially with them not showing Nosferatu. It's like, dang, I kind of, you know, it was a little different. It didn't seem like you know how those movies where they kind of like fear the person, where she was like, I came face to face with death and I was happy. It's like, oh shit, like this is some different shit. And then you see like everyone's dreams, so you don't even know which scenes are really real at that point. Like you seeing the girl on the bed, you see the guy waking up in his dreams, you seeing everybody like, I don't know. It was a lot going on for me to decipher what was reality or not. So I'm like, okay, I kind of want to see it
Um, if I do see it, I'll probably see it for William Dafoe. That'll probably be the only reason. When it comes to like horror movies, as of recently, or like thrillers, I don't know. As it just hasn't been touching me where I should be touched. Pause. But I don't know. Horror movies they just don't be going crazy, bro.
Just say it doesn't hit for you. Jesus.
I couldn't find the words. That's what I said. I said pause with it. It's okay. But nonetheless, I probably won't watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I probably won't. William
You like
Dafoe is
slow
cool.
burn movies?
Absolutely. It depends on the slow burn, man. It depends on it. If they start doing some stupid shit in this damn movie, I'm liable to turn that shit off expeditiously.
out. It's a slow burn
But
movie.
yet you
What's an
watch
example of
Blink
that?
twice.
That shit really slow,
Oh, you
and
ever
I
seen The
turned that shit
Witch?
off immediately.
Wait.
You
What part
said
did you
which?
turn it off?
I watched all of it, but I still was quite pissed that this black lady went. I'm not even gonna say it because
Just say it. Just say it.
Wait, which
I
movie
watched
is
it.
this?
Blink
this is
twice.
Blink Twice. This Blink Twice. Blink Twice. Also, A Quiet Place Day One. Both of them movies pissed me the fuck
Okay,
off.
A Quiet Place kind of. I've had this talk
Nah,
about
nah,
it kind of pissed me off.
That
Please take care of my cat.
that shit pissed me off. And then this black lady just going to the niggas random islands and shit like that without even knowing this nigga. Like the first night she met the nigga. Like fuck no, bro. This don't happen. I mean, it do happen in the real world, but that shit's stupid as fuck. Like, are we dead ass?
Well, it's like this. If your favorite celebrity like gave you a
I
shot,
don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying.
I don't care who it is, nigga. I don't even ask celebrities for pictures. Chisel the Adonis is the first nigga I guess you could claim as a celebrity, a YouTube celebrity, that I ever asked for a picture of. It could be LeBron James in front of my face. I'd let that nigga walk right the fuck by. I don't give a flying hoot. These niggas bleed the same as me. These niggas is no different than me.
But literally, but you gotta look at it from the standpoint of a woman. Like it literally.
Anybody though. I mean, I'm the same
Yeah.
way as you, Sage, but at the same time, there's mad people who do.
I know,
You
most
know,
definitely. And I view those people as kind of foolish, you know?
they exist, and
See,
I
the one,
promise you, they outnumber people like you and I and
Oh,
D
most
who
definitely.
wouldn't
But-
jump at the pictures.
well, my thing is, I'll say this real quick with Blink Twice. The one part that did kind of piss me off, I was fine with the ending because she made it work for her at the end. Like she literally came on top and she got the money. She got him under lock and key with him forgetting everything. But why did it have to be the white girl saying, "Hey, something is wrong here. We need to leave"? And usually it's supposed to be us that say stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, that's the one part that really pissed me off. And then you see everything that was occurring and them forgetting it. I kind of got pissed off about that because I'm not a fan of that crap at
The
all.
fact, the fact what happened to her homegirl happened,
I haven't even
Bruh.
seen this
kept
movie.
going. Man, what you could watch the movie. I know you probably gonna be curious. I
But you
probably
gotta
implore
remember,
y'all watch the movie.
she
Y'all
forgot
probably will
after
only
that.
watch that once.
So remember, it showed her seeing what happened, but then she instantly forgot it until she drank the venom from the snake.
I know
So she
you
had
putting
to.
them on to too much shit.
I'm not putting on to anything.
T, I got a movie for you
You putting
too.
them,
What's up?
yeah.
What's up?
I just saw recently. Actually, all it. It's not really horror. Y'all all might enjoy it, but it's called Strange Darling. It's really weird. It's like one of the weirdest movies I ever seen, but it actually was like pretty good. And here's the thing about it is usually it was a movie where the whole thing jumps around. It's like it's not a straightforward
Mm-hmm.
story. It jumps,
Like Pulp Fiction.
and that's exactly what I was just about to say. It kind of gives me like Quentin Tarantino vibes, but you know it's not a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead actress, she did a really good job. It was really I at first I really didn't think I was gonna like it, and I was really close to turning it off. But like just kind of go like just if watch it like go just commit to it, watch it all the way to the end because it's like by the time you get to the end you like you know what they did a really good job kind of keeping you on your toes. What like it's one of those movies where it's like you could appreciate it for at the very least if you can't appreciate it for anything else you could appreciate it for how it just kind of keep you on your toes. You want to know. It gets to a certain point in the film where you start figuring out exactly what's going on, and then you like, oh okay, I want to know how this ends.
All
It's
right.
called Strange Darlings. I might do a review on it
Text
on
that.
Crocco's Corner.
Text that to
Yeah, I
the
got you.
group chat now. I'll take an eye out for that one. I am looking.
Yeah,
I am gonna try and go see Joker this weekend so that I can give an honest review on that.
yeah, you're
Um,
alone on that one.
yeah, I know. I told you, but that's the thing. I told you
I
I was
appreciate
going to
you.
go see it. But
Yeah,
so moving
see.
on. So moving on. JJK 271. I will start this off real quick, lightning round, so we can meet our quota because we still got like two more things to talk about.
I'm gonna
Um.
talk about mine next week.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. But then we still got this in upcoming anime for October. Um. So quick, it was trash. I hate the ending. I wish we could have got more out of it than just a cookie cutter middle finger at the end of it from Sakuna. It's pretty much setting up for the next one per se because them showing us Sakuna's finger, like meaning that he's still there somehow, even though he got obliterated by Yuji, or not really obliterated, just pretty much just faded into the background. But
It's
eh,
weird.
it I don't. Kaiju number 8 is give me what I wanted from what I wanted from JJK. So I'll leave it at that. It Demon Slayer all over again. I'm starting to get PTSD.
Uh, what? Wait, hold on.
How Demon did you
Mm-mm.
finish reading Demon Slayer?
Oh yeah, no. I finished
Okay.
it.
Oh, you finished it? So that's what I mean. It's giving me PTSD from that. You give me good action leading up to this to some cookie cutter fan servicey ending. That's literally how it felt. The power of friendship.
I'm not gonna lie. After reading some stuff on it and everything like that, I'm not too bad on the ending. I'm not too bad on it. Earlier, I did say in a group chat, I'll admit, I did say it was ass, but that was because I just watched or read it. I didn't really, and I'm not gonna lie, I was skimming through it. It was too much fucking words on that motherfucker. I didn't have the time. I was at work.
It's
Um,
always best to go off your initial reaction, not other people's words. I can
no,
understand that. I can
it's like,
understand that. No. I can understand that, but your initial reaction, that's what's natural. Like literally, that's how I felt reading it. yes, I get it. When things are fully explained by other people in their theories, it sounds better. But nah, it's always best to go off your initial reaction on your
It's
thoughts. And
not just that though, because I can read something, but I don't have the full, let's say, intellectual value in terms of breaking down
Assessing
this
it,
whole
yeah.
entire thing, how it's supposed to be broken down. Because Gege is writing this with the sense that we have the knowledge capable to be able to understand all of the pivotal things that he did, the writing techniques that he used, the different story elements that he brought back, different things that he brought back that he used earlier in the series. Like, it's certain things that other creators will, most definitely people that we've watched on this channel, that have more to say, that I actually value their opinion on the subject, and it makes me look at it at a different light, type of thing. So I can have that first honest review, but I mean, at the same time, we can have that with everything, and that still wouldn't fully grasp what the person or author was trying to convey to us, type of thing. When you get multiple people, now you have a more
Cohesive.
cohesive foundation for where you're trying to come to. So I don't think it was too bad. Sakuna saying that he could have lived life differently. Spoiler alert. Sakuna saying that he could have lived life differently. He just chose not to. Like, that's some character development that we didn't expect Sakuna to have, and he admitted that he had defeat, or he got defeated. That's the first time we ever seen Sakuna actually
Admit
be
defeat,
that
yeah.
open and honest and vulnerable. Like, this nigga wasn't vulnerable, wasn't honest with nobody. I mean, he was honest about him murking niggas, but he was never honest about actually losing, type of thing. And he called Yuji by his full name, type of thing. That just shows the respect. And then if per se there's a sequel and he potentially comes back in some essence, maybe he does live a life that's different. But who's to say we could see a good Sakuna, a malevolent shrine that's used for good? Who knows? I don't know. But it wasn't too bad. I'll still give it like it was a bumpy landing. It wasn't smooth. It was there. It landed. A wheel probably fell off, probably two. Wing probably broke and everything like that. But he got to the destination. He got to it. How about you? Oh, D, did you read it yet?
Yeah, I did. It felt like kind of rushed. It was like, hey, yo, Gege, JJK ending due in 2 weeks.
Wrap
I
this
got.
shit up.
It's like Gege, JJK ending due tomorrow. Fuck. All right. Bam. And I was like, damn, nigga, like, what happened to all that other shit that was going on through the manga? I'm like, wait a minute. Like, reading this shit, it was like, all right, they gonna mention it. Okay, I guess not. Oh, okay, then I mentioned that. All right. And it was just like, it just happened. Like, them niggas was just tired of it. Like, yo, we just exhausted. We know y'all want the ending of this shit. Here, fuck it. But it was like, damn, maybe it could have been, I feel like it could have been flushed out a little more. Say, get a nigga like 2 more months. Hell, another year probably just to flush everything out. But I mean, hey, it's probably what he wanted to happen.
Uh, yeah, I agree. I agree with D in regards to it felt rush. The one thing that I hate about when they do things like and the same thing more or less happened with Tight Kubo with Bleach when he was doing the manga. He started to have, I believe, like some slight issues with the in the case of Gege, I know it was health. I think in the case of Tight Kubo, it was more so combatants with the publisher, and it just kind of rushed through to the ending, and now we're getting the Thousand Blood War arc in Bleach, which I think we're talking about tonight. But we like it's getting more though, like now that they're animating it, they're fleshing it out more. But the thing is with JJK, I don't know if that would be even possible. So it's like the ending that we're getting here is likely just gonna be the ending that we'll see as well. Um the Tengen wrap up was annoying, to say the least. At least it was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least. It was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least, it was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least, it was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least, it was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least, it was annoying. Um, to say the least, at least, it was annoying. Um, Gojo's final words in the flashback with Yuji, they don't feel like, it does not feel like his will that he expressed throughout the entire show with his students surpassing him. Like, they, okay, in a sense, yes, did they surpass him? In a way, you could say that. You absolutely could argue it, because he couldn't defeat the Sukuna. They were able to defeat Sukuna. So yeah, in a way, yes, they did surpass on a technicality, on a technical level. But in terms of like their raw talents and abilities, it still kind of feels like it was latent, and the series is ending on that note. So it's like, there's, if it doesn't have a part 2 or a continuation that were to include that cast that we know, how that, those abilities that they were able to kind of utilize, not they were able to utilize those abilities, but I still feel like there was more potential that their powers and their experience could have unlocked, and we just kind of got, like, it's just kind of by the wayside at this point. It feels like, if like, and that's the thing, is if Gege has a part 2, I think I would be more forgiving of how this ended. But it's kind of like if Naruto had to just ended where Naruto ended. It's not the same comparison, I know, but the feeling of it reminds me like where Naruto went from Naruto to Naruto Shippuden, where it's like, if Naruto had to just ended at Naruto at that point where it ended, I would have hated that ending. I would have been like, Naruto ended terribly. But Shippuden kind of came in to advance it further, to show you where the story could truly end, where there could be like a true conclusion. And with JJK, is just kind of like, yeah, I mean, Sukuna was the big bad, but I wish that there was like, I wish that the whole situation with Ghetto could have, even in Ghetto passing, or Kenjaku, in Kenjaku passing, that it still could have been carry over into like another arc or another series, like something like that, just something that could have given us the opportunity to watch these characters grow a little bit now beyond where they met the expectations, that they went further than the expectations that were set on them. It's like we just kind of got a taste into that, and it would have been nice to see how that could have been fleshed out. I hated the Sukuna finger part, not for the same reason a lot of other people did. It was like Sukuna giving a finger to the fans, is how a lot of people took it, and I understand that. But my issue with it was, we saw this scene with Sukuna and Mahito before, and it felt like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that part was cool to me because it felt like a good finale for um it felt like a good finale for Sukuna. Like, I agree with Sage, like having him be able to have the option of another path, having him be humble enough to admit defeat, having him be able to show some form of respect to um Yuji. Like, I thought that all of these things were really, really, it was fitting. And then having him talk to Mahito at the end, who was kind of like this version of him. Like, Mahito was kind of like trying to become an even worse version of him in a way. And to have their ideals and viewpoints kind of meet at that moment, and be able to contrast. And then also we could see where Sukuna just had a little bit more maturity, and where that maturity and understanding kind of gave him more strength. I thought that all of that was good. I really was cool with all of that. But then when you have the finger, I don't know if y'all noticed it, but it looked like the door that little like chicken coop that the finger was in, it looked like the door was open as if somebody else was going to get it. And I know Yuji said that it's nothing more than a talisman, but it was almost like that famous last words kind of feel when Yuji said that, and then they segue over to the finger. So I'm like, so which one are you trying to tell us? Are you trying to tell us that Sukuna is done because of that beautiful scene that you had before? Or are you trying to tell us that, oh, there is the possibility that either Sukuna or the powers of Sukuna or whatever could be coming back? And it's like, well, that's, if you leaving us on that note, it's kind of like, that's not fair in a way, you know? So I hated that when we actually got that transition, and it was like going back to the finger of Sukuna. I would have wished that they would have maybe went into like something went wrong with Tangen that they didn't see, because there was supposed to be more to that anyways. So even if you aren't gonna do it, can you at least give us the possibility, like, okay, maybe there is something that went wrong here that they didn't notice. The other part is there should be way more fallout. If we go back to the beginning of the Culling games, Maki took out her entire clan, right? The Blood family clan was completely at disarray,
Combo.
and yeah, the Kamu clan was completely at disarray, and literally it was something where Kenjaku was able, through Ghetto, was able to take essentially hold of that clan. Um, the Gojo clan, I can't remember exactly, but if Gojo was the last member, then that's another clan that was in total disarray. There were all of these clans that were supposed to be like board members or like chairmen to the entire Jujutsu world. The principal was killed. There was all of these people who were supposed to be like in charge of keeping everything in order. And though they did show a little bit of like where other people were now stepping in the roles, like the guy who had the simple domain, I know that he became the head of one clan. Like they did kind of touch on some of these areas. It still should be in like utter disarray. And we just kind of have a jump where it's like, oh yeah, and mind you, I understand that they had the whole thing with Tangen where it was like still supposed to be able to have his barrier in place. That part even was kind of like it was contradicted, because okay, the barrier is still in place, but there's some of the people from the past that are still existing that they have to like deal with. It like the situation shouldn't be them like the last panel where we see all of the surviving younger sorcerers. It shouldn't have been from a place of like peace. Everything was set up for it to be a place of panic, because it was all of this tragedy that happened. And yet we just kind of fast forward to them having peace and no explanation really of them having peace, because they took out Sukuna. Okay, I get that. But Kenjaku made a lot more threats that should have been threats still. That should have been problems. That's why a lot of people going into this chapter thought that that fight that was going to happen, which was so lackluster, the idea that it was a guy who was at a one of the like Japanese cafe houses, and he just had a obsession with one of the ladies that worked there. It was so lackluster for that to be the case, because a lot of people, including us, if you go back to the previous show, thought that that fight was going to be more climactic, and it just wasn't. It absolutely wasn't, and it's kind of like the cherry on top of how much just really wasn't solved going into this ending. And that's the thing with it that kind of like sucks the most, because a lot of the storytelling before we get to this point was just, it was polished, and even in places where it felt like, okay, you could have disagreements or you didn't like this, it still was fluid enough to where most people could be like, okay, you know what, you got me back, I'm rolling back into it. And nothing about that existed. Like when I first read this, and y'all know this from the group chat, when I first read this, I didn't even think it was real. I thought it was like fan made. Like I genuinely thought that a fan made this, and it would just got leaked as something that the author actually made, because it just goes so far against the show. Like the series. I mean, it is what it is. It's not the first time that we've seen this. Even recently we've had this with My Hero Academia, and as T brought up Demon Slayer, but I don't know. Is this something that one of my friends brought up this point? He says, is this something that we just have to expect with shonen? If it is us that is the problem, like the fandom, if it is us, both in Japan and internationally, if we are the problem, I'm really starting to be okay with the idea of mangaka, when they get to the high point, just taking like 6 months off. I'd rather them take time off and like flesh it out, and then we get the final chapter later down the line. Because this is happening a lot where it just ended terribly. Like, yo, Hunter, I give you an example of the difference. Hunter x Hunter, when Togashi came back in 2010 to do Hunter x Hunter, he didn't even finish the series. And the arc that it finished in still is a better ending than like 90% of the endings that we've gotten today. And that's not even a finished show. It was just a part. And it still ended wonderfully. Like the idea of where the anime left off with Gon meeting his dad and um being able to climb, like complete that challenge that his dad had for him, and you knowing how the series started at the very beginning and how he yearned just to be able to like meet his father and be able to do that. And again, that was only supposed to be a part of the actual show ending, and it's ended. That ending is leagues better than what we've gotten from Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. I'll even throw Bleach in there, and y'all know how much I love Bleach. And then now Jujutsu Kaisen. It's, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm disappointed. That's the best way I could sum up how I feel.
Yo, real quick, speaking on to, oh my bad, go ahead, Rob.
I got two things real quick. The fact that Yuji this whole entire time in the series was trying to figure out a way to take out Sukuna, and in that moment he was able to actually sway him to a different side to actually see what he was talking about right before Sukuna perished. That shit was, I think a lot of people are overlooking that. I'm not gonna lie, because that's basically the premise of the whole entire. How do humans actually take care of curses? How do we, if they're gonna keep coming and everything like that? Yuji just figured out the way by providing salvation to him, kind of thing. Maybe I didn't have to live that way. Secondly, you brought up that the Jujutsu world should be in chaos. Technically, yeah, but also they did just take out the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer known to man.
That's fine,
You
but it was supposed to be mad threats from the Han era.
Yuji packed his ass up, but all of them threats from the Han era don't touch Sukuna.
But we don't get to see it.
Yuji didn't pack him up. It was the power of friendship.
Yuji packed him up at the end. That was all Yuji by himself.
It was the power of friendship.
That was all Yuji by himself. It was
the power of friendship.
That was all Yuji by himself.
It was like Fast and Furious.
Once he popped his domain, he was by himself.
It was Fast and Furious.
But nonetheless, at that point, we have realized that now Yuji is even stronger than Sukuna in certain aspects. But also, Megami, just like how Yuji was able to use or start to use Sukuna's techniques, we actually see a split second of it in that last manga chapter where Megami's demon dog is actually big as shit in comparison to how it was before. He has, in comparison to Yuji, where Yuji only had what I think max 15 fingers, if I'm not mistaken, and then he transferred over to Megami's body. Megami has had a full powered Sukuna roaming in his body for a month. So even if there is chaos amongst the Jujutsu world, between Megami and Yuji, they are more than powerful enough, and even the old Heian sorcerers, they are more than powerful enough to pack them.
I would even throw Maki in there for you. I don't
Maki
disagree
too.
with what you're saying. What I'm saying is we didn't get to see
it.
any of that, and that is where the disappointment comes into play. When you compare what you just said versus what we actually saw, that to me is a disappointment. Because
what if we see it in the anime?
Had an opportunity. Maybe we do. I don't. Like I said, I just don't think that it's gonna be like Thousand Blood War arc where they gonna flesh out the parts that they didn't. First of all, the demand for JJK is just so much higher than the demand. It literally had like JJK, Demon Slayer. These are series where like people can wish for that to be the case, but because of the popularity of the series, there's not enough time. Like Bleach took almost a decade because the popularity fell off right around the time that the series ended. So they could afford to take the time off. They weren't pressured by the studios. They weren't pressured by the magazines. They could afford, because they were declining, they could afford to take the 10 years off, add the added material. Demon Slayer is not going to do that with its ending. And I don't think that JJK is going to be able to do that with its ending because of the popularity.
I don't think so.
We'll see.
Yeah. What now? What was you about to say, D?
No, yeah, I was gonna say y'all touched on it because I was kind of agreeing with what Niall said. Like it was a little too peaceful at the end. Now, granted, my thing I keep going back to is that Sukuna was the king of curses at the height of Jujutsu. So it's like at that point, them niggas got to be like, damn, we not at the height of Jujutsu sorcery. We did defeat Sukuna, but it's like, damn, like we still got to be on our toes at least about something. That's what I
Tech,
thought it was going to go.
technically, Yuji reached the pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery, though.
If it was Sukuna versus Yuji at his full strength at the end, the strength that he had after all the black flashes, and we take Yuji at full strength of all the black flashes, and we put him against Sukuna at the start of the fight, like the start of the Gojo fight, Sukuna's winning. We
Yeah, because
don't
he still,
have
he still had 10
anything.
shadows.
We don't. If you took Sukuna and Gojo, and you had those two versus Megami and Yuji at the end of the series, they would still lose. Separate. No 10 shadows in Sukuna. No, none of that. Just Malevolent Shrine, full power, full curse energy, and full Six Eyes Gojo. If you had the two of them, which were the two strongest, if you had the two of them versus Megami and versus Yuji at the end, after all the black flashes, after having the full power of Sukuna in them, if you had both of them at that point, there's no definitive proof that they would have been able to beat Gojo or Sukuna in that fight. And I hate that because they're supposed, like, I agree with you. Their strength is supposed to have like that was Gojo's will and what he was, and that's the thing. That little flashback that Yuji had during the body swap training when he was like, I want you guys to surpass my expectations. It almost was like throwing fire on the flame because I agree with you that everything is set up for them to look that way. And maybe that is the case, but there's no definitive proof or writing or imagery that shows us or tells us that that is the case. There was nothing the ending could have done that. I'm not even disagreeing with you if you do think that they were stronger than both of them by the end. We just don't have anything that showed it to us. And that's the annoying part. I'm disappointed. I'm utterly disappointed. Cause like you saw how much I was waxing and waning. I came into to the Culling games. I was mad at it at certain points. I was like, no. Then finally we get to the end, and I said, Sage, okay, I'm locked in. I'm not gonna make any more excuses. I think that this is gonna end good. I like how the story writing is going. To get to this, it's like, man, it's really disappointing.
Nothing can be more disappointing than My Hero Academia and Attack on
I think
Titan.
that ending was actually better than JJK. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think My Hero
Absolutely not.
Academia's ending was better.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fucking not.
Yeah, even though Deku lost all his powers, even though I still think, even though it didn't end with how he was the greatest hero and it changed to we are the greatest hero, and I hated all of those points.
The
Even
power
with
of
that,
friendship.
I still think that it was easier to digest that. I'll say this much. Maybe it wasn't better, but it was easier to digest the My Hero Academia ending for me than it was the JJK ending for me.
Still don't like the power of friendship. This thing is annoying.
Kaiju number
they
8
needed
better not
to.
end on no. I can't do another one.
Just like Demon Slayer. I mean, when you think about it, just like Demon Slayer, you needed all those people to face this nigga. You couldn't face that. What's the nigga name? Tanjiro couldn't face that nigga alone. He faced his ass alone and was getting packed up by the nigga. This was why he was already poisoned double time by the shorty that he ate.
I'm
And
with
the
you,
other
Rob. I'm
demon.
more forgiving with the, as T calls it, power of friendship. I understand T just don't like it, and I know a lot of people like T that just don't like it, but I'm more forgiving of it. I'm cool with the idea of them all having to do that.
It's like this with the whole power of friendship thing. It's not like it's like okay, here and there, here and there, here and there. It's like almost every shonen is power of friendship. That's the thing that like kills me. Like break away from the formula. Let the
Well, one of
main
my friends
character
brought up
have
the point.
let the main character have his shine. You don't need nobody else. Literally, like this is pretty much a poor man's Naruto. That's what JJK is. It's all it is.
You going crazy.
I'm going crazy. Okay, Yuji, a young student with a demon inside of him, Naruto. Then you got Megami, who's like this. I'm so sad for the world, aka Sasuke, and then you got Nobara, who's actually
Sasuke never moved like that.
Okay, like I said, Nobara is
And
literally.
Nobara is 20 times better than Sakura.
Okay, you won't let me finish. You always cutting me off. But literally, you got the three friends, Team 7, and it. What happens at the end of it when they take on Kaguya? They come back together. Power of friendship. How did this happen? The power of friendship, taking down Sukuna. Nobara coming out of nowhere with her ability. Boom. With one eye. Here we go. Yuji comes in with the Black Flash. Megami does his thing on the inside to get Sukuna out of him. Power of friendship is literally Naruto all over again. It's a poor man's Naruto. That's what JJK is, and I stand by it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That comparison of the Kaguya fight versus the Sukuna fight is actually I can't say he's wrong in that. I can't. Yo, Nobara's resonance is legit like a carbon copy of that Sakura punch at the top of Kaguya's head. It's like the legit. No, it is though. Like, it really is though. Like when you really think about it, it really is.
Y'all going crazy.
We're going crazy?
Yeah.
We're okay. Hold on, Crockles. Please explain to me how it's not a carbon copy of the Kaguya fight. Please explain.
One, it wasn't multiple sorcerers. It wasn't multiple ninjas that fought Kaguya. It was just those 3/4/5 between Obito and Kakashi jumping in and then jumping out whenever they felt like it.
If you go back though, to the Madara part, which is kind of like
Kaguya is not the same as Madara.
That's fair, but like
nope,
the Madara part.
Nope, y'all said
The
Kaguya.
Kaguya part.
Kaguya is not the same as Madara.
Now, hold on. The whole Kaguya thing was only like what 2 episodes, and we got the Kaguya fight was not like 2 episodes.
I'm pretty sure it was longer than that because it had to go in their backstory and everything too.
It was longer than 2 episodes because they had to
longer
go to
than
that
2
little
episodes.
dimension world.
But here's the thing though,
multiple dimensions.
Kaguya was the final boss, correct? So with Sukuna,
yes, technically Sasuke was. He was.
Okay,
did
was
Naruto fight him?
But literally, that's him in Naruto. I'm
that's
talking
the final
about
boss.
I'm talking about the final boss for like the team that was put together for the beginning of the anime, having their shine at the end to take on the final boss that was trying to take down either like one Naruto, the Hidden Leaf Village, Sukuna, the world. So literally, they're fighting Sukuna in the last bit. Yuji's been going at him, boom, 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 boom. But I'm talking about in those final moments of shine for this team. Team 7 had their shine. Team 7 had their shine in the last moments. That whole fight was literally Sasuke and Naruto. Sakura came in the last moments of that fight to have her moment. Nobara came in the final moments of that fight to have her moment. And you can't say she didn't because she showed up, maybe an issue before Sukuna got taken out in such a cookie cutter power of friendship fashion.
I mean, we always. He put that in there for us to know. We didn't see a funeral for Nobara because she was supposed to.
That is not the point. You're bringing in a variable that does not matter. We're talking about in the final moments.
Came back.
But we're talking about we're talking about in the final moments of that final boss fight. It literally was Team 7 versus Kaguya in their final moments of that fight. The last 20 minutes in that fight, the last 20 minutes of the Sukuna fight was the shine of Team 7 of JJK. Literally. And you can't say it.
I'd say more of the shine was towards Yuji. You had Nobara come in and do something. You had Megami take a leg from Sukuna and then he reimagined that shit right back on his fucking body.
No,
and then Yuji had to be the one to do the final shit. No, Megami wasn't doing shit.
But they all did. In the final seconds of the fight, they played an important part. You can't undermine.
They played a part, but Team 7 worked together more so than anything to defeat Kaguya. It literally needed Naruto and Sasuke to both. and Sakura punching the shit out the nigga at the same exact time to seal her ass away. Megami took a leg from Sukuna. That was it. Goddamn,
No, he
and
didn't.
was
He
and
yanked
was
away too.
and was fight. That was after Yuji already took him out.
No,
That
but
was
he
after Yuji already sold dismantled the fuck out that nigga.
if Megami had a sold himself more into Sukuna, I don't think that he would have reverted back. I don't think that he would have. I don't think that Sukuna, if in that scene when Sukuna was talking to Megami, if Megami had been like, you know what, you're right, I completely give up, and he kept giving up, I think all that would have happened was that after that punch from Sukuna, or after that punch from Yuji, he would have reverted back to the Megami form. Like Megami pulling away was a big part of why that was able to happen successfully.
No,
Nobara,
it was because of Yuji.
it's not.
His
I don't
soul
think that that's fair to say that it's fully
he
Yuji. I
took
think that it.
out Sukuna's soul.
What context in the series do you have to say that him not pulling away wouldn't have made a difference?
Because Yuji's whole entire thing was soul. And then you had Nobara. I feel like Nobara and Yuji put in more work than Megami, obviously.
I'll give you that, but what I'm saying is that I do think that it was a pivotal part that if Megami didn't fight back in that moment, that Sukuna would have lasted longer. That fight would have been prolonged a little bit longer, even if it was only a little bit longer. And that's with Sukuna. Look at what a little bit of time does.
Once he popped his domain and got the sure hit effect, it was going to release Sukuna from Megami regardless. Even if Megami didn't want to come back. As soon as Yuji popped his domain, because every domain has a sure hit effect, we have found out the only way to combat a domain sure hit effect is with a simple domain, which Sukuna was using with his hollow wicker basket, and then Nobara hit him with the soul resonance, so he couldn't use that no more. Yuji then placed his hand on Sukuna's chest and soul dismantled the fuck out of this nigga until he exited Megami's body.
So I got a question.
Hold on, hold on. Pulling back and forth at that end.
So my question to you, Sage, do you feel Yuji could have defeated Sukuna by himself without Nobara hitting his finger with her nails, or even Megami trying to stopping Sukuna from taking over him again? Can Yuji defeat him by himself?
At that point in time?
No. Without Nobara stepping up to help. Be honest.
At that point in time?
Be honest.
I don't know. If he popped his domain at that point in time, it would depend on how long Sukuna or Yuji could actually survive in that present point in time. He also has blood bending. We can't forget that. The nigga has superhuman healing abilities.
You're missing the question.
You got to remember at the end of that too, he was taking
also
mad
at that
hits.
point in
You're
time,
beating around the flipping
also
bush, Sage.
at that point in time, y'all forgetting a lot of context. Yuji just popped 8 black flashes on this nigga. 8.
Sure,
back
but
to back to back.
okay,
to back,
if we
to
talking
back.
about context, do we forget the part that Yuji wasn't using reverse curse technique at the point where he was just throwing barrages back and forth with Sukuna?
He still was at a no, I'm talking about, I agree with you there, but he was still at an enlightened point where he popped 8 black flashes. He was already so locked into the zone. We don't know. Nobara obviously helped
I agree
him.
with the last words you just said. We don't know, but the fact of the matter is the author made a point to have Nobara's resonance play a part, and the author made a point to have that conversation with Megami and Sukuna, because like I think that those were important parts to the fight's conclusion. I just don't. That's the only thing that I disagree with you on here is I think that both of those things were important parts to the fight being able to end where it ended, and that's why the author showed it to us.
My whole thing is, at the end of the day, you beat around the bush of the question. From what we were shown in this story, from where we were at, Yuji could not have finished him. Like, if Gege was still writing this, we would still be in the middle of the Sukuna Yuji Itadori fight. We would still be in this fight. If Nobara
We don't know that.
But
Okay,
we
that's fine.
also don't know that we won it. Like it's
We
the
don't
thing
know
on both
either.
sides. We know
But
We
we
what?
don't
on
know
But what?
both
either.
Okay, but
sides.
here's the thing. What we were given was literally a reflection of Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura versus Kaguya. Each one of them having a pivotal blow in that last moment of that fight to seal away Kaguya. Literally the same thing. Nobara coming in with her resonance, Yuji with the last Black Flash, and Megumi literally tearing his up, making sure Sukuna does not take him over again. All played a pivotal role to end Sukuna. Like you cannot say that it's not a mirrored effect from the ending of Naruto Shippuden.
Y'all keep saying that Megami tore away. He did not tear away.
He
Sukuna.
rejected.
I
So
mean,
so did Megami do anything? Did Megami do anything? Did he play a role? Did he play a
Megami
role?
took a leg from Sukuna.
But here's the
That
thing.
was
He
it
I'm
for
played
the
a
asking
whole
role.
that.
I'm not.
entire fight.
But here's the thing,
It
though.
wasn't much of a role. It didn't stop Sukuna. It didn't
did
harm
something.
Sukuna. It didn't harm Sukuna.
If it honestly, if it wasn't important,
It didn't do
Gege would have
anything.
never written it. If it was not
That's
important, he
how
would
I
have never
feel.
written it.
It
If
was
it
just
wasn't an
the
important
fact
part, it
that
wouldn't be
Megami
in it.
actually came back from the abyss. That was the only thing he was trying to convey. But did he actually do any damage to Sukuna? He popped that leg right back out, my nigga.
Bruh, but at the end of the time, him taking that leg gave Yuji an extra 2 seconds to pull the burner out on this man and end him. Literally,
It
he
did.
did.
At that point in time, it
Okay.
wasn't after. It wasn't
So-
at the point of the
okay.
soul dismantle. That
Okay.
happened a couple
So
chapters
hold on, hold
before
on,
that.
hold on, hold on,
Before
hold
he
on.
even popped his
But here's the
domain.
thing, though. At the end of the day, it was written in the book, so it's an important fact to be
I'm
shown.
not saying it's not.
But
I'm not saying it's
but my
not.
thing
But-
is, you
but
saying
y'all
that
saying
this is not.
you-
But here's the thing, though. You
You're
saying
making
it's
it
not.
seem like it's a carbon copy to Naruto, and it is not the case. It's not.
Okay, I'm not saying one for one, but literally down to the T, the original
The
T.
format is the same. though.
Thank you.
Like even if it's not a carbon copy, I do agree with T that the format is the same. But like the Team 7 of Jujutsu Kaisen
I'll give you
ended
that
in this
aspect.
fairly similar as.
Thank you. Finally, that's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Nah, you saying something different, brother.
No,
Carbon copy, I do agree with. I think Sage brought up some.
You said
good
JJK
point.
is Naruto.
I don't
nigga.
think that it's a carbon copy of that.
when I
ending.
mean carbon copy,
But
I mean
the
that everyone
format
played
is
a.
definitely
Thank
the
you.
same.
That's what I'm saying. It's a carbon copy of the same like format. That's all it is. I'm not saying everything's one for one of how. Like what I'm saying is each person from that team had an important role for taking down the big boss. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I can't agree with that still, but okay.
Can't,
We just go with that. We agree to disagree. Okay. I still don't think Megami had too much of a fucking role to play. My nigga, that nigga was inside a nigga body. His own body was controlled.
Yeah, but him not having a body was if Sukuna had that's why like remember at the ending when who was the blackjack gambler, what's his name? Hikari, who was he fighting again?
Harame.
Remember when Harame said you guys got lucky because he needed a body to be attached to.
Because of the soul.
Megami rejecting him from his body to me plays a big part because if Megami didn't reject him from his body, he still would have had a body to keep fighting with. Like it was again, I do agree with you that Yuji was doing damage, but at the same time, Yuji was taking a lot of damage because he dropped doing his reverse curse technique. So it really could have been something where it would have went down to the final blow like Gojo. There was a chance that if Megami didn't reject, it could have went down to the final blow. Sukuna has the superior knowledge. He has the superior usage of the what are they called? The binding vows. He was a superior fighter. So there's no telling that they could have possibly lost that if it just had it came down to Yuji throwing blows and Sukuna keeping up with him and him not like Megami not choosing in that moment to push away his body from Sukuna, and as well as that if Nobara didn't do like Nobara doing her resonance, it stopped Sukuna in his tracks. It was a big help. If it had just been Yuji and Sukuna trading blows, the way that the fight went from the time it started with Gojo, it would have been believable to me that he would have just popped out another binding vow that nobody would have saw coming. Sukuna was mad smart. He was a very smart fighter. Yuji was not that.
I don't
Yuji was
know.
a very innovative. Like Sukuna was a very smart fighter with some ingenuity, and Yuji was a very innovative fighter with some like fighting smarts. But I think that the one that was smarter at fighting with some ingenuity had a good chance of doing something in that moment. Had we not gotten those other pieces.
All I'm gonna leave on is soul dismantle technique. Y'all look that up again, please, and look up the binder vow Yuji made to make his soul technique even stronger. I just, all I'm gonna let y'all know is look that up just a little bit more, cause he most definitely pulled a lot more weight than all of the other niggas. Where in comparison to
Oh, for
Naruto,
sure,
it
I'll
feels
give
like
you
most
that.
of most of the niggas
Here's the
had a
thing.
good Naruto and Sasuke more
I
so had a equal. Kakashi was
hold on,
there too,
hold on.
and then Sakura was probably like
But
middle of the road to down.
my my
But that's just
but
me.
my thing is, I agree with you on that one. But literally at the end, it really just
It had
the
a similar
format is
format.
it's a similar format. Like I get it. Like the balance of who did most damage does not mimic each other, but it's the fact that everybody did something and it was highlighted. Even if you're saying that it was not important, Gege wrote it, so it is important for someone to bring that
I
up.
mean, if that's the case, nigga, JJK is like fucking my hero. JJK is like goddamn Demon Slayer. JJK is like goddamn, not Fire Force.
What type
Like
of
all
what,
of these
but what?
other shonen.
Here's the thing, yeah, aka why I don't like the power of flipping friendship. That's literally what it is with these shonens. But literally down to the T, you got three characters, a team, a teacher with white hair that like one wears glasses to cover his eyes, the other one covers one for a Sharingan. Literally, it's down to the T. Same format. Yuji is a clumsy individual. Naruto, clumsy individual. Megami is like an emo goth type individual. Same with Sasuke. And Sakura is just Sakura. Same with like Nobara. It's just Nobara's better than Sakura. That's all it is. They just gave us a better Sakura. That's all it is. It's the same format.
I guess.
All right. Do we want to wrap on that note?
Yeah, we can wrap on that note.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, Sage.
All right, y'all. This is what, episode 40?
38.
38. My bad. Episode 38. Appreciate y'all again for stopping by. We shall be back. This episode will be up on our YouTube channel at Squad Nero 716. Tap into that, please. On Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the release will drop for it. Tap into all of our social medias as well as Krako's Corner on all podcast platforms as he talks about different topics such as anime, history, as well as mental maintenance, and tap into twitch.tv/smooventertainment for other variety games in which Smooth will be playing, possibly with me. Check me out at twitch.tv/sage. Appreciate y'all for stopping by again. It's a long night. Y'all have a good day and week. We shall see y'all next time.
All the smoke, yeah, running trash bags of that green, whip it fast, the whip color of cocaine. I'm independent in the spinner to stop these dreams.